All right, so we've identified 403 Via Verde Drive. Now I'm going to move this onto my other screen, which you can't see, but I can. And I'm going to keep all my details and everything in front of me. Now I've moved over to my Excel spreadsheet where I put in all my details, and this is kind of where I do my analysis. So in this case, I am looking at 403 Via Verde Drive in Rio Rancho. And my estimated value on this property, I have not pulled comps. I haven't looked at the neighborhood quite yet. We're going to look at that in another segment, but right now I'm just getting an analysis to see if I want to go to that step. But I know that area runs, I'm going to say conservatively, $95 a square foot. So 95 times 1,800 square feet is $171,000. I'm going to back that off to 169 as my estimated value to be conservative. My purchase price, the list price on this house was $87,900. We're going to play with that. And then I'm going to say $25 a square foot times 1,800 is $45,000 for renovations. That puts me at purchase and repair of $132,900. If I've got a loan rate of 8%, I've got let's see. My current property tax on that property is $1,406. So 1406. Monthly utilities 125 is conservative. It usually doesn't take that much. We have a 4 months. Square footage is 1,800. All right, so what we're looking at then, current list price is $87,900. Suggested offer would probably be $79,000. It gets us in, well, maybe $75,000. This one's been on the market for, it is a bank-owned property. It's been on the market for 34 days, so they may be willing to work with us on it. The closing costs, we don't have any bank fees, appraisals, any of that stuff. Prepaid interest, mortgage insurance. If we do an appraisal, we're looking at about $450. Don't have any daily interest charges, homeowners insurance. My first year of homeowners insurance, I'm going to assume $750. My closing fees, the title company or the bank will usually pay the closing fee, so I don't typically have anything there. We'll get title insurance from the bank. I'm going to have recording fees. Put it at 50 conservatively. Bank won't provide a survey, so we will get one. In a city neighborhood, I don't worry about the survey too much until it's time to sell. A pest inspection, the bank won't provide one. I'll get one before I have to do one for a buyer at the end. So none of that stuff really applies. And so we would have, here we go, okay. On my sell, when it's time to sell the property, I'm going to have another appraisal done. In this case, buyer has credit report, tax service fee, those things. We've got, my property taxes were $1,406, so about $750 the bank has to give me credit for their ownership throughout the first year, and then I'm going to have to pay it back to the buyer on the other side. Closing fee is going to be $365 plus, if it's a $169,000 house, I've got $169. If get about $534,600 for closing fee, title binder, owner's title policies. That's about right. I'm gonna say $1,200 conservatively, and then we'll have seller's recording fee. No, that's about right, 50. And we'll have a survey. We're gonna have a pest inspection, $65. Home inspection warranty is $375 plus the inspection itself. So you get about $600 there. We don't have septic, we don't have environment, not doing a seller's agent bonus. However, I would have a funding fee in there. So if I've got a funding fee of I'm going to say we've got a funding fee of 2%, and so that breaks down all of our costs. My sales commission is going to be 4.5%. I've got to pay my company plus the buyer's agent, so there'll be a little bit of realtor's fees in there. So on this particular property, with 4 months worth of holding costs, 5 months, it's only got a margin of $15,000. So this is a little bit skinny. If we can get it for 75, then there's definitely $28,000 profit. That makes me that gives me a lot more confidence once we're looking at the total loan and purchase and repairs, everything in 120. That gives me a lot of breathing room. I don't know that it would cost $45,000 for the repairs, but we'll get a contractor out there and give us that. So that just gives me a quick breakdown, down and dirty. Tells me if it's a deal that I want to go any further on, even digging into, to make sure that I've got enough margin to for any overages if it costs $55,000, or if I've got to negotiate the sales price from 169 down to 160, I can lose 10 grand quick in my sales negotiations as well. So definitely there's a lot there, but that kind of gives you an idea of how I go about analyzing the property with all my closing costs. I want to know right now where the profit is, and make sure that we absolutely buy right on the front end, rather than getting in trouble with not buying right, and then there's nothing left and we end up losing money on the deal. So I'm very careful before I ever analyze it. I have not gone out to look at the property yet. I've only seen pictures online, and I have only gone in to run my analysis here, which you see only takes me, it takes me less than 10 minutes to run my analysis, and as I'm talking, it takes me a little bit longer to explain what I'm doing. So realistically, I can run these numbers in about 5 minutes and know if it's a deal I want to move forward on or not. So next, we're going to go into pulling up the property values and see if we are in fact at $95 a square foot. In this case, this estimated out at $94 a square foot. So we're going to see what the price per square foot is up in that neighborhood and see if we're on the mark or if we're not. So that's the next step.